Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be starting the first of what's going to be a series of job quests. We're going to be starting at the very beginning with the Arcanist here in Limsa. Well, have you decided to enroll in our guild? Or are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? Way of the Arcanist. Muriel wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Arcanist Guild. Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster that you might convey your intentions in person. Due to extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Instead, you may speak with Mistress Theabugium. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You will find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy. Though her mind is sharp and critical, her manner is always most welcoming. That's nice. Yes, I am Theabugium. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Muriel has doubtlessly explained, I am the serving as acting guildmaster until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins? In a previous video, she did, yeah, when I was first walking around Limsa. Allow me then to expound upon its nature. Akinima taps into the living energies of ether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps by our ability to manifest the arcanic entity carbuncle, and the manner of magic with which this ethereal ally employs at our command. The core of the discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary, even on the field of battle. Nay, especially on the field of battle, this principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An Arcanist is measured by her ability to calmly analyze the solution from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. The study of Arcana will test your mental facilities to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? Yes. An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. In Lower Lenosia, you will find, amongst others, three species of pests: wharf rats, little ladybugs, and aurelites. I ask that you employ your skills in Arcana to eradicate fiends of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee these opponents causing you or your budding abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing this preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. May your judgment remain swift and clear. Such long words. I barely understood half of the things she said. You know, if this was like a real class in real life, I would flunk out. I just know I would, because it requires thinking, and I'm not maybe the best kind of thinker out there, which really makes me wonder why I chose to main as a summoner or a scholar. But yeah, these things are going to be pretty easy to do. Just go out through this gate and just kill like these little level 1 to level 3 creatures. And I'm already at a high enough level that I really don't need to worry about it causing me any trouble. So all we gotta do is find more of those jellyfish, which are down further this way. So yes, this is going to be part of a series of eventually going to be getting around to doing all of the quests, like all the classes and jobs and all the specific quest lines for those. But we're going to start off small. This video is going to be covering the Arcanist levels 1 through 10. So we're going to be covering 1 through 10 levels for the quest line. And then we're going to be covering the level 15 to maybe 20, all the way up to 30. and that will take care of the Arcanist quest lines, and then we'll move on to the Summoner and the Scholar. It's all about patience, my friends. And we just took care of the jellyfish there. I know they have a different name, but I prefer to call them jellyfish. Easier to pronounce anyway. But now that that's taken care of, we just head back to the city and we're welcome to the guild. So that's basically going to be the level 1 quest line. Okay, I skipped ahead just a little bit. I see the creatures beyond the city walls posed you little threat. It is with great pleasure then that I formally recognized your intention into the guild. From this day forth you may proudly bear the title of Arcanist. I suggest you continue your forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your grimoire turning. There is no finer teacher than the harsh mistress of experience. And to commemorate this occasion, I gift you with this hunting log. The enemies marked within its pages will be specifically chosen to challenge your abilities in Arcanima. When you devise a new strategy or tactic, you have now ready a source of opponents to which to test it. And when you feel you can command carbuncle as easily as you might move your own limbs, return to me for further instruction. I will be waiting. Okay. Oh, really? Why use big words? I'm a simple gamer. You don't need to use such big words with me. Okay, level 5. What's in the box? Acting Guildmaster Reborn wishes to assess the improvements of your Arcanist skills. Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. Ah, Claire, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to hurried judgment. I must oft remind my Arcanists to take meals to ensure do they become in their studies. Speaking of such, have you been practicing your tactics or carbuncle? I believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lanosia, 3 wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents, formulate an effective strategy, and utilize your arcana immunity to the fullest potential. I expect you back in time for breakfast. Okay, so gonna be right here, low in Lanosia, not too far from the gate, so I think it's near the same place as before, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so Lower Lanosia, Tempest Gate. I think it's the same gate that we used before. Okay, so those creatures were part of the hunting log. We'll get back to that later. Those who choose to do the hunting log, it's a nice way to give you extra experience and level up quickly. So use your hunting logs. That's all the advice I can give to you for now. Oh, it's going to be so nice when I unlock my mount. So easy to get from here to there and back again. Right, so it's just right up there. We'll just take care of some dodos, mandragoras. Then we move on to the real challenge, I think. Oh, if only these spells didn't take forever to cast. 2 down, 1 to go. Okay. And the Managora should be up around here. If I can find any. There they are. We strike them dead before they even get close. Right, so... there we go. Oh. Okay. We'll take care of you too. Doesn't want to be left out, I'm guessing. And you probably don't want to watch me sprinting all the way back to Limsa, so I'm just going to skip ahead just a little bit, okay? Okay, so we just made it back to the city, and we just are about to come out of the lower decks, right back at the Arcanist Guild. So, that was an uneventful journey. Welcome back, Claire. It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing Archimen with a more practical examination? Our work at Malven's Gates requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I have had several crates transported to the cliff south of the Zephyrin Gate. I want you to examine those crates, then return the inspected cargo here to me. You would be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter our custom agents from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating vilekin. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. Flesh-eating vilekin? Wow, that is taking it a bit far. But we shall do as we are told. So, Zephyrin Gate is in Middle Enosia. And it's down the cliff face here. There it is. And you know what? Maybe it'd be better if we take care of these rats first so that we don't have to worry about being outnumbered. Sense a hostile presence and we have tree slugs. Really? What's the point? I mean, if you're going to inspect a crate and you see these giant slugs, then you know that something's up. I am not a threat. Pray ignore my presence for the present and allow me a moment to congregate. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemy set against you. Yet, efficient though your tactics were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle, the wheels of my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed. Let's see, taking into account your current level of ability, factoring in the etheric constants, multiplying by the number of opponents, then applying your tactics to the other potential combat scenarios, oh dear. My calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level 9785. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I am Calhilia, a Malven Gate Assessor. Acting Guildmaster Thidogirium elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction in the field of Arcana. From what I have observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail regarding your choice of arcanic geometries, which factor most influences your actions during battle. Desire to outwit an enemy, potential for amusement, I simply do what feels right. I simply do what feels right. Aha, just as I predicted! And now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an Arcanist of note is 90%, give or take half a percent. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. While our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence, he did leave us with his most notorious saying to date. Strategy is the tool used to manipulate one's situation into desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty Arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Alchema. Here ends your lesson for today. Pray return directly to the guild. I believe Mistress Theragarium is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactic I reasoned out earlier must be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there is no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. Jeez, what's with people loving to talk? I mean, she seems like a sweet enough girl, but I barely understood half of what they were saying. I can't wait to get to some of the other classes where they aren't so wordy. I'm tired already. I think I need a nap after this. Well, at least that's taken care of. We just have to report back to the acting guildmaster, and we'll call it there for level 5, and I think we have time to do level 10. So we'll get that underway. Ah, Claire, have you returned with the cargo? Okay, wooden cargo. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Relatively clear blood and other gore. That can sometimes be of a problem in our profession, you understand. I also had word from Cahilia regarding your performance. She seems eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instruction she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach to our art. Did you perchance notice the battered tome Cahilia carries? The initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered the guild. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see it kept all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcana has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You have done well this day, Claire. Continue your practice with Carbuncle as Cahilia has bid. I will be here when the time comes for your next lesson. Okay, once in a box is done. Move on to level 10, Tactical Planning. Acting Guildmaster Bergenium wishes to assess your improvements of your Arcanist skills. Sorry. Yes, Claire, the time for your next lesson is upon us. You are keeping well, I trust? Taking the occasional brisk walk, one cannot form sound thoughts if one fails to maintain a sound body. Now, assuming you've been following Cahelia's instructions, you should be ready to face more dangerous threats found in western Lanosia. I speak of roselings and wild jackals, and yes, I would have you vanquish 3 of each. 'Tis the perfect sample size. The first acts as a preliminary test cause, the second to test your hypothesis, the third to perfect the tactics you've devised. Speaking of which, I trust your strategy will consist of more than simply flinging ruin over and over again. You're not the novice you once were, and your skills in the field ought to reflect that. If you find yourselves wanting for other approaches, consider the FFXIV's combination of ether flow and energy drain. When timed appropriately, you can simultaneously restore your own waning supply of mana and deal a crippling blow to your opponent. Why not just tell us we have a pest problem and we would appreciate it if you go out there and deal with it, all the while improving your skills? That's really what she's saying. So, here we are, Western Thanalin, and our pest problem is right up here. And here's the roselings. Where did you come from? Lightning sprites. Lightning sprites are supposed to be mellow. They don't attack unless you attack them. Okay, the roselings are done. Here's a jackal. Easy enough to deal with. Okay, so I'll just head right back to Limsa, and I'm just going to skip ahead, make it easier. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, we dealt with the monsters. Welcome back, Claire. How did it feel to conquer such ferocious foes? Let us ride the waves of triumph onto an even more demanding and dangerous challenge. Your next training exercise will have you accompanying Foreseer Cahelia on one of her inspections. This experience will afford you the opportunity to witness firsthand the practical application of alchemy. Pray do not tarry, Claire. Cahelia awaits you on the floor below with further details. Okay, so what she means by the floor below is down this way. Funny how often people seem to miss it. But we have some students here who are practicing with their carbuncles. Really is a cute idea. Timely appearance, as I expected. Shall we proceed directly to the job at hand? I have been tasked with examining the wares of a goblin peddler caravan run by the Bollistock family. Our agents suspect these beastmen merchants of dealing in forbidden goods. As such, I have calculated that announcing an inspection has a 60% chance of inviting physical violence. I have prepared a strategy to respond to this possible shift into hostilities, but there is an important precaution you should be made aware of before we can discuss the finer points of my plan. Though I'm considered gifted in the formation of tactics, I fear the reflexes and coordination necessary to employ many of those self-same strategies on the field of battle. Pray keep this factor in mind and adjust your perceptions accordingly. Well, that's interesting to hear. Now, should the goblins offer battle, you are to execute Combat Pattern 1345, otherwise known as Stratagem Focus Fire. You and your Emerald Carbuncle will concentrate your attacks on a single foe, and one by one the enemy will wither under the combined onslaught. Probability of victory 95%. Reports place the peddlers in the facility of the Cookpot in Middle Lenosia. I will depart immediately to assess the situation. Seek me out once you arrive. Okay, so what she was saying before is while she has a brilliant mind for strategy, she's a little bit lacking in the reflexes on the battlefield. So that's good to know. Meanwhile, we lack the sophisticated mind, apparently, of an Arcanist, but we are more than able to make up for that on the battlefield. So I guess that makes us a pretty good combination. So, the cook pot should be relatively close, yeah, so it's just a little bit up this way. We're just going to ignore that fate and all these monsters. So the goblins... There they are. Right up past this rock. There she is, waiting for us. And there are the goblins scattered here and there. Okay, so tactical planning. I am Foreseer Cahilia of Malvan's Gate. You are to cease all transactions and surrender your goods for inspection. Nasty, sneaky peddlers, God be split uplanders, nosy eyes on stabby iron. Yeah, that's the best I've got. I don't know how goblins sound. A predictably aggressive response. Very well, Claire. Remember what we discussed. Duty commence. Claire, now, execute Stratagem Focus Fire. Unleash the full strength of Emerald Carbuncle. Do not forget the precondition, adjust your tactics accordingly. Well, I'd rather have her talking than the goblins. Claire, switch to Combat Pattern T538. Evasion Maneuvers. I notice she's not helping us. Avoiding bomb blasts is your top priority. Interrupting casting if you must. Focus on mobility. An excellent decision. Your combat style gives me an idea. I must formulate a new tactic. The battlefield is yours. Really? Hasn't it been ours? Hopefully this will be the last one. There we go. Duty complete. Nicely done! Adaptation, improvisation. I might have been observing our beloved Guildmaster himself in action. There was the perfect example of how the strategy for a given task should be tailored to the abilities of the assessor. In other words, before you begin formulating your tactics, it is necessary to fully understand your own strengths and weaknesses. On that note, there is another question I would ask of you. When it comes to improving the probable success of a stratagem, do you consider it more effective to concentrate on playing to your strengths or shoring up on your defenses? Shoring up on your weaknesses, sorry. Enhancing my strengths, covering my weaknesses. Enhancing our strengths. Aho, again you respond as the Guildmaster once did. I must revise the probability for your potential to attain greatness to 97%. You're one to keep an eye on, that much is certain. But to return to the subject of battle plans, your calculations must include an accurate assessment of your available techniques and their relative effectiveness. This requires you to be critically aware of your own limits, the limits of your allies, and the characteristics of your enemies. I believe that covers everything for today. Please return to the guild and make your report to Mistress FFXIV. Until next we meet, I shall abide here until the Yellow Jackets arrive to take the peddlers into custody. My strategies will keep me company. Ah. Okay, so it wasn't as bad as before, but I'm going to just skip ahead and return to the guild. And we're back. We're about to head in here and report to the acting guildmaster. Back from the field, Claire. Gahilia contacted me with the summary of events. It seems you were treated to a lecture on knowing thyself. That particular lesson is ordinarily taught only to the intermediate practitioners. Without a sufficient store of combat experience from which to draw, it is difficult to fully appreciate the profundity of such a seemingly simple truth. Nevertheless, I feel confident that you will soon be ready for a more ambitious assignment. Keep to your studies and maintain the razor edge of your mind. One last thing, Claire. Considering the dedication you have shown towards our discipline, I have decided to permit you leave to explore the teachings offered by other guilds. I would suggest, however, that you first master the science of Arcana. The strategic training you receive here will serve you well no matter what path you eventually choose to walk. Return to me when your reason tells you the time is right. But I think that we're going to call it there for right now. So I hope that you all enjoyed this little lesson that we have and that you're going to be looking forward to the next one. So until then, see ya!